Poker Actu.
Bonjour, Poker Actu.
Bonjour, Poker Actu.
Bonjour, Poker Actu.
Bonjour, monsieur. Bonsoir.
You know, like 2 words now.
Bonjour à tous. Ce mois-ci, nous sommes partis à la rencontre de 2 joueurs complètement cinglés. Parce que nous, sur Poker Actu, les fous, on aime bien ça. Le premier a décidé de se faire tirer dessus à bout portant, comme ça, juste pour voir ce que ça donnait. Vous voyez le niveau? Il s'appelle Antonio Esfandiari, il habite dans cet immeuble et il nous a donné rendez-vous dans son appartement. Nous aurons également rendez-vous avec son comparse de toujours, un certain Phil Laak. Vous verrez, ça ne manque pas non plus de piquant. Et ça sera un petit peu plus tard. Tout de suite, c'est l'heure des indiscrétions de Poker Actu. Pour commencer ce numéro un peu déjanté, je vous propose de la démesure. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente le Marina Bay Sands, le casino de tous les excès. Il se compose de 3 tours hautes de 55 étages, au-dessus desquelles se trouve une terrasse géante, abritant un parc de 1,2 hectares, une gigantesque piscine, un bar et même un restaurant, le tout à 200 mètres de haut. Le casino contient 600 tables de jeu et 1500 machines à sous qui s'étalent sur 15 000 mètres carrés. Ce casino géant a coûté près de 6 milliards de dollars, une bagatelle apparemment, puisqu'il sera rentable au bout de 5 ans seulement. Il faut dire qu'avec 10 millions de visiteurs attendus chaque année, forcément, ça aide. Tony G a encore fait des siennes. Non, cette fois, il n'a insulté personne, il a juste lancé un pari. Il a défié Usain Bolt, non pas dans une partie de poker, mais au sprint. Les 2 hommes doivent en effet disputer un 100 mètres et le perdant devra verser 50 000 dollars. Bon, pas complètement fou, Tony G a décidé de prendre 50 mètres d'avance. Pas sûr que ce soit suffisant. Il faut quand même préciser que ce pari débile a pour but une juste cause, puisque les 50 000 dollars seront reversés à une œuvre caritative. Pour faire la promotion d'un site de poker, quoi de mieux que d'avoir des people? Eh bien si, il y a mieux avoir des people travestis. On a ainsi pu découvrir Sébastien Chabal, pourtant pas réputé pour son manque de virilité, déguisé en femme. Que l'on se rassure, il est également apparu en Napoléon, en conquistador, en moine et même en diable. Le champion de tennis Gaël Monfils a lui aussi été grimé. Il est apparu tour à tour en Zeus, en boxeur et pour finir en vieille dame. Avouons-le, c'est plutôt amusant. Sauf qu'on pourrait quand même se demander jusqu'où tout ça va aller. Parce que si ça continue, on pourrait bien voir, je sais pas moi, Bruno Solo déguisé en joueur de poker tant qu'on y est. Oh, pardon. Salut Antonio, merci beaucoup de nous recevoir chez toi. Comment ça va?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for asking. It's a beautiful day in Las Vegas.
Il y a quelques semaines, tu t'es fait tirer dessus à bout portant dans une chambre d'hôtel. Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette histoire? Tu peux nous raconter?
Yes, a friend of mine had a bulletproof vest and he was shooting it with a gun. And I just couldn't believe that he was shooting a gun in his condo. I thought he was a madman. He is a madman. He's a good friend of mine, but he's crazy. And I don't know, there were people around and I was, you know, I think I was drinking a little bit. And so I kind of had this, I don't know, this crazy decision-making process in my brain. Wait, if I put that on, he could shoot me. It's safe, right? And so I asked him, and he said, yeah, if you want to wear it, I'd love to shoot you. So I put it on, and he shot me.
Mais il y avait quand même un risque.
Well, of course there's risk. It's a real bullet. So there's a chance it could have gone through the bulletproof vest, but I think it's very small. It feels like it's less than 1 in 1,000. And it was a 22, it wasn't a 45, which would have really hurt. So I felt like it was okay.
Tu es un joueur de poker très populaire, très célèbre. Malgré tout, pendant des années, tu n'as pas eu de contrat, tu n'as pas eu de sponsor, tu fais partie d'aucune team. Est-ce que tu peux nous dire pourquoi?
Because I didn't want to be with a site that had so many pros. I wanted to be with a site that had, I wanted to be their main focus, you know? And so when Victory Poker came along, it was basically me and then a bunch of people that we were going to sign and whatnot. And so, you know, I thought it was the right fit.
Alors ton surnom c'est Le Magicien, tu as commencé en tant que magicien. Est-ce que tu peux revenir avec nous sur tes débuts en tant que magicien?
Yeah, I was living with a guy who, him and I were just at a restaurant and the bartender did a magic trick for me and I was mesmerized by how he did this 1 card trick. And so I went to the magic store and I explained it to the guy and he said, you can do it. I bought it, I learned it, I did it, and I was hooked after I saw the reaction that I got from people. And so I spent 2 years every day for the next 2 years of my life, every single day practicing 24 hours a day. Like if I wasn't sleeping, I was practicing.
Est-ce qu'il t'est déjà arrivé de tricher à une table de poker en te servant justement de tes techniques de magicien?
No,
At poker?
Absolutely not, of course not.
Même dans les petites parties sans grand enjeu avec des amis?
No, it's the techniques you have to use to cheat are very, very hard to do, just like doing magic. And so things that took me 2 years to do, if I wanted to learn how to cheat, I could. Like, what I'm trying to say is I know the moves that you would need to be able to like the deal off the bottom or fake shuffle and all that stuff. I know how it's done, but I don't know how to do them because I've never taken the time to learn them. It would take me months and months of practice to be able to do them where nobody could tell what I was doing. And for me, there's no reason for me to learn something that I'm never going to use. You know what I mean? So I never took the time to learn it.
Est-ce que tu peux nous parler de ta rencontre avec Phil Laak?
It's a funny story. I was at the World Series of Poker about 7 or 8 years ago. This is when the World Series of Poker was just like a normal thing. It wasn't this huge media frenzy kind of a thing. And Gus Hansen was playing poker at a table. And this is before Gus was Gus Hansen. He was just a normal human back then. And Phil was sitting behind him watching Gus play. And I used to do a lot of magic back then. And so I was walking by the table and they stopped me to do magic. I started doing magic tricks for the table, and Phil was sitting behind Gus, and I saw that Phil was just looking at my hands. He wasn't enjoying the magic. All he was trying to do was figure out how I was doing everything. And so I kind of cut it short, because as a magician, we don't like that. So about 10 minutes later, I'm doing magic for a different group of people, and there is Phil Laak in the audience watching my hands again. And I was like, wow, who's this guy? So, I don't know, we started chatting afterwards, we went to go have a beer, and that was it. It was love at first sight.
Alors c'est paradoxal parce que vous êtes les meilleurs amis du monde et malgré tout, il y a une très forte compétition entre vous deux. Comment ça se fait?
Yeah, Phil and I are dearest friends. He's one of my best friends in the world, but we want to beat each other more than anybody. It's just, I don't know, it's some sick gambling thing that I can't explain, but we had a show where we would just walk around and bet on everything called I Bet You. You can watch clips of it on YouTube, and we just love to punish each other, whether it's at the poker table or on a prop bet or on anything.
Ton truc à toi, c'est de faire des paris parfois complètement stupides. Quel est le pari ou quels sont les paris les plus stupides que tu aies jamais fait?
I've done a lot of stupid prop bets. I remember we made a bet one time. We were on the corner of San Diego, and there was about 15 of us, and we did a random high card. And whoever lost would have to go and try and walk into, you know how the car stops at the intersection? Would have to just go up to the car and open the door and walk in. And so, thank God I didn't lose that high card. But the person that did walked up to a car, opened the door, and this huge thing almost happened where like we almost got in a fight with this big guy and his friends in the car. It was like a mess. But that wasn't a smart one. But it was fun. Some other ones, I don't know. I mean, Phil and I made a bet on who's got a higher sperm count. We went and got our sperm tested. I lost. We did like camel racing, and whoever lost had to cup the camel's testicles for like 10 seconds, and that wasn't fun because I lost. And I remember we made a bet on who could take more sleep medication and stay awake the longest. I don't know if you know what Ambien is. It's a very heavy sleep medication. So we both took 2 Ambiens, and we had to stay up the longest. And so I was hallucinating and seeing things, and I was so like, and that was pretty stupid probably.
Et tu l'as perdu encore?
No, I won that one. I won that one.
Alors ça, c'est une question que je pourrais poser pratiquement à toutes les superstars du poker. Vous êtes connus, vous passez à la télé, tout le monde sait que vous jouez très bien. Comment vous faites pour trouver encore des pigeons qui veulent jouer avec vous?
Well, I think it kind of works the other way, because they want to go home and tell their friends that they played against so-and-so and they beat them. And so it's not that people don't want to play a pro or someone that they've seen on TV. It's actually the opposite.
Dis-moi 3 choses que les gens ne savent pas sur toi.
I'm very close to my family, and I can't wait to have my own someday. Everybody thinks of me as this crazy party kind of guy, and which I am, but at some point, you know, I know what's real in life. 2, I don't get much sleep. I hate sleeping in. You know, people think that poker players have these crazy long schedules or whatever. If I go to bed at 4, I'm probably going to be up at like 10 no matter what. I just don't like to sleep in. I always wake up early. And 3, that I'm a total health nut, and I've been really, really healthy for the last year. Eating, gym, and just trying to live forever, kind of a thing.
Merci Antonio.
You're welcome.
More to go. Round to Brody, who's picked up King Kong. Oh my goodness! She folds pocket kings.
You're not wearing a hand. You need to shut the up.
Uh-oh.
What did you say, Mike? What? What did you say, Mike? Did you say something?
I got it.
You didn't hear what he just said?
We're in the middle of a hand. He's talking about what he has in his
You didn't
hand
hear what
to
he just
everybody. You cannot talk about a hand in between a hand. We're playing
didn't
for a
say a
lot of
word.
money. You jumped off your chair like you threw away part of the pot.
Guys, listen. Easy, buddy.
We're
He was joking.
I was joking. I'm dead serious, man. You guys are big.
Yes, I know, but I don't understand you.
And now she's picked up an almost unbeatable hand.
But Priscilla will lead into the pot first. And Brody has just folded trip 9s.
Tell me if there's a donkey, I will crush him.
Piece of shit. Everybody in the world knew it was a piece of shit.
Well, then why didn't you put the money in, Phil?
Huh? You keep doing
If you knew it was a piece of shit, why didn't you put the money in, huh? Mr. Fish, I had you crushed. And when you get out there, your teammates will tell you what I had. You almost went broke. All right, mister?
Be aware, I might get you by the hair.
Ah, fishy.
Holden feeling pretty good about his Jack 3 with it being checked on the flop.
Pass.
No.
What, Jesse, what's going on?
Je vous l'avais promis, nous allons maintenant rencontrer Phil Laak. Phil Laak, comment le décrire? Bon, le mieux, c'est que je vous raconte quand même son dernier exploit en date. Il a décidé de passer pratiquement 5 jours et 5 nuits de suite à une table de poker sans dormir du tout. Et oui, c'est un petit peu ça, Phil Laak. Alors le mieux, c'est qu'il nous raconte lui-même son histoire à dormir debout, ou plutôt son histoire à ne pas dormir du tout.
The natural questions people ask a lot are, did I win or lose in the session? Yes, I won $6,766. How much did I sleep afterwards? Like pretty much more than half the first day with lots of naps, and now kind of a messed up sleep pattern, which I'm thinking is going to revert back to normal. Why did I do it? I don't know if you have this phenomena in France, but in America, every 10-year-old kid finally someday gets a hold of the Guinness Book of World Records and looks at it and is like, I want to be in this book. It's like the most obvious thing. People also ask, did you hallucinate? And yes, I did hallucinate. Like literally, like chips were floating. There was one time where I didn't know that I could fold because I had played 7 hands in a row, and then it was my turn. I didn't know how to play the hand because I kept raising, and then the guy went all in, and I had no way to win. And I was trying to, I realized what, and I was like, my brain was broken. I was like, how can I win this hand? I just won 7 in a row, but I bet. I thought what you do to win was just bet, but I couldn't bet anymore. All I could do was call, and I realized, and I was like in a broken loop. And my buddy, Anxious Ben, said, Phil, you can fold. Like that's an option. I had no idea it was an option. I was in such a weird track. Hour 100, I remember not being tired at all. And at hour 110, I realized, wow, 2 things happened. One is I told Jennifer that I felt like I could stay awake for like another week. Inside, I had no tiredness, and Jennifer was like, okay, and she said, that's not good, Phil. The feeling that I had towards the sense of purity and alignment with the universe and everything made senseness and whatever, like the beauty of every moment, everything was making me tear up with happiness. I mean, I could go a half an hour without thinking about the happiness of the world and just act. But if I thought about my family or my relationship with Jennifer or how much I love poker or how great it felt just to be able to breathe or just the simplest things, so like having a bit of water, I would just get like really verklempt with, I was almost at the edge of tears, but there were cameras around and stuff, and I remember having my wits about me enough that I didn't want to be like the YouTube clip, here's Phil babbling an idiot, you know, crying and stuff. So I held it together and stuff, but it was something that was incredible. It was like, you know, it was basically like this. It was 17 to 24 hours of, imagine the happiest, like at your brother's wedding, or like when you're just welling up with happiness. And so it was like that, just lots of waves of it for 24 hours. It was incredible. I was like, wow. Yeah, so that about wraps up the story of Phil and his enduro challenge of long session of poker.
Nous allons maintenant suivre le témoignage d'un Français qui vit ici à Vegas et qui va nous raconter ses aventures ou ses mésaventures. Salut Eric, ça va?
Salut Alexis, comment vas-tu?
Va bien. Dis-moi, on se croirait vraiment pas à Vegas ici, hein?
Pas du tout, hein. C'est un lac, on a l'impression d'être plutôt à Miami ou sur la Côte d'Azur.
C'est pas trop difficile de trouver du travail quand on débarque comme ça, qu'on connaît personne?
C'est pas évident, mais à l'époque où je suis arrivé, c'était en 2004, c'était pas la crise d'aujourd'hui ou la crise d'il y a un an ou deux, donc c'était plutôt facile. Las Vegas restait l'endroit aux États-Unis où les gens qui voulaient travailler venaient ou qui avaient du mal à trouver du travail dans leur ville, venaient à Las Vegas parce que c'était plus facile qu'ailleurs aux États-Unis. Moi, j'étais dans le métier des casinos, donc j'ai pu... et j'étais pas difficile, j'ai trouvé le premier job. Et quand je suis arrivé en 2004, c'était l'ouverture du poker, la réouverture du poker, si je puis dire. C'est après la victoire de Moneymaker en 2003, le poker a explosé. Et donc, il y avait beaucoup de boulot dans cette branche. Donc, j'ai profité de tout ça.
Est-ce que tu peux nous parler justement de la crise qui a frappé Las Vegas?
Alors, la crise a été terrible. Ça a été, je ne peux pas dire pire que 2001, après les attentats terroristes, mais c'était vraiment terrible. Il y a eu des établissements ont dû renvoyer beaucoup de gens. Il y a eu une baisse considérable du chiffre d'affaires. Aujourd'hui, cette année, quand on regarde par rapport à l'année dernière, les chiffres ont beaucoup évolué, mais ça reste encore bas. Et on dit que ça va remonter, mais ça va prendre du temps quand même. Hein. Ça va pas se faire du jour au lendemain. On pense 2-3 ans avant que ça reprenne.
Les mentalités entre la France et les États-Unis sont radicalement différentes. Ici, c'est la capitale du capitalisme. En France, l'argent est très tabou. C'est pas difficile de s'adapter. Il y a quand même un gros décalage, non?
Effectivement, il y a un gros décalage. Un décalage auquel je me suis un petit peu préparé, mais c'est même en se préparant au mieux possible, c'est différent. C'est différent, mais on s'y adapte. Voilà, on s'y adapte.
Quels sont les bons côtés, les mauvais côtés d'habiter ici à Vegas?
Alors les bons côtés, je dirais, c'est les opportunités. Parce que malgré la crise actuelle, on sent qu'il y a toujours des opportunités. Toujours. Pas seulement, bon, je ne parle pas du côté, allez, on va trouver du travail, etc. C'est les États-Unis de manière générale, c'est l'entrepreneurship. C'est plus, aux États-Unis, c'est plus, voilà, je vais monter mon affaire, j'ai une idée, je vais la développer. C'est beaucoup plus facile de faire ça que d'aller trouver un travail et d'évoluer dans cette profession. Et Las Vegas, c'est le numéro 1 aux États-Unis dans ce domaine. On a des idées, ça peut aller très vite. Et c'est en ça que c'est extraordinaire, parce que moi je me réveille tous les matins, même si j'ai traversé des périodes très difficiles, et ben même pendant ces périodes-là, je me réveillais le matin, mais j'avais un espoir, je savais, il y avait quelque chose peut se passer, et des choses se sont passées effectivement. Donc c'est ça les bons côtés de Las Vegas. Aussi les bons côtés, c'est le fait que des gens viennent de partout, pas seulement des États-Unis, mais du monde entier, pas seulement en vacances, mais qui viennent habiter ici à Las Vegas. Donc c'est très différentes communautés, c'est très riche sur ce point de vue. Et aussi le fait que c'est 24 heures sur 24. Bon, moi personnellement j'adore, donc il y a toujours quelque chose, quoi. Et les mauvais côtés, pour répondre à ta question, les mauvais côtés, c'est bien sûr la partie tentation. C'est la ville des tentations, c'est la ville du péché, c'est le jeu, c'est toutes ces dérivés qu'on peut vraiment, si on n'est pas concentré, si on n'a pas un cadre qui nous aide, on peut vraiment bifurquer dans beaucoup de choses. Que ce soit le jeu, la drogue, tout. Ça peut être très difficile.
Merci beaucoup, Eric.
Avec plaisir.
Nous allons maintenant retrouver Phil Laak et Antonio Esfandiari au cours d'une interview croisée. Mais en attendant, je vous propose de suivre un coup de légende. Nous sommes au World Series of Poker 1998. Il ne reste plus que 2 joueurs qui vont se disputer le titre de champion du monde. Scotty Nguyen, le joueur en pleine ascension, et son adversaire Kevin McBride. Il y a un full sur la table et Scotty annonce tapis. Full au 8 par les 9 sur la table. Et écoutez bien les paroles de Scotty Nguyen, elles font partie de la légende du poker. C'est un exemple d'intoxication. Si tu payes, tout est fini, baby. Et Kevin McBride qui dit je paye, je joue le board. Ça y est, c'est fini. Scotty Nguyen est le champion du monde de poker 1998. Il a réussi à manipuler complètement son adversaire. Il a simulé l'intimidation et en fait, il avait la main max.
Me.
His name has to be better because it's gone through so many fine-tuned versions and it's matched, like even Antonio, like matches the magic sound, you know, like, rabbit from a hat. My name is Antonio, you know?
That one goes to Antonio.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of magicians. He should have been the mentalist or something, you know?
Well, that's a good question. Let's analyze. Unabomber relates to a guy that blew up a bunch of buildings, and so that's kind of crazy. Magician, it's kind of standard because I was actually a magician professionally, so it's not like a unique nickname.
I'm not proud of the nickname the Unabomber, so it's not really a good name. It's unique because there's only 2 of us that share it. One guy's like coped up in jail in Colorado, and I'm free to roam around and play cards. It's a big difference in our lifestyles, but it's not the best nickname or whatever.
Well, Phil Laak is a sexy man. I mean, we all know that. I go to the gym a lot and I work out pretty hard. So when it comes to sexy, I think overall you have to take in physique and, you know.
He's gone to the gym 6 days a week, and not like regular going to the gym, but going with a trainer that just whips him and, you know.
How in shape you are and whatnot. So I'm gonna have to give sexiness to the brown guy. That one goes to me. I've won more than Phil in tournaments.
I'm like, ooh, I gotta catch up to Antonio. I gotta pass Antonio. It's like, if Antonio didn't exist, I probably wouldn't play tournaments at all, but I'm like, I gotta. Antonio, of course. This is when Antonio answered that question, it was Phil, of course, and whoosh, whoosh.
Phil Laak is definitely more famous.
I don't know, we both worked pretty hard at the poker fame game. My answer is going to be...
Phil Laak is definitely funnier.
So funny looking, he'd have that, but funny, I think I got that.
100% he's funnier than I am. I bluff more than him.
All in! With like air, you know, that...
Phil plays tighter than I do, and so when he wants to pull off a bluff, his chances of getting away with it are higher than mine.
Well, I beat him in Poker After Dark when he used that move on me. It was nice, you know. I just like, snap called. He slaughters me. He's like constantly working that.
I would say that I'm probably better at prop bets than him, I think.
He's constantly generating bets and people that will have betting relationships around him. I think he's going to say me, and I don't, you know, I think I don't, I mean, I just, that's like, is that a trick question? I don't even know why, you know.
For people that see him on TV and what they see, they laugh, they think he's a total space cadet and random and crazy whatever guy, and that those are all true. But when you actually hang out with him, he's even deeper than that. I mean, he's just completely out there. He's so brilliant. But he's so far gone sometimes, you just don't know what's going on with him.
I think people will consider some of the things that I've done more crazy than, like, you know, So I mean, but see, it's hard for me to say me, but it's obviously me, you know, because it's like I hate doing the thing like, hey, look at me. I mean, even though I love it, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I love the look at me thing, but you try and do it a little discreetly, not like, hey, look at me, but you know. Me, many times over. I'm telling you, him and me, heads up, it's like a gross fit. There were times where I thought that mathematically what was happening was reaching almost near impossible proportions, some of the things that I've done.
Phil, for sure, has beat me out of more money than I've beaten him. He's owned me our entire life. It's just, you can ask him, it's not even close. I can't beat him in anything that has to do with money. It's so sick.
It almost can't be happening. It's been happening so, it's statistically so anomalic. I've never witnessed anything like it in my life. Au revoir, Poker Actu.